Happy Motivational Wednesday, darling. I'm not doing any talking first because we have
Thank
a very
God for
important
that.
issue.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm hearing a whining sound. I think we've got a whining sound going on. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to bring in our darling Andrew Barton to fix our hair problems. Please fly in, Andrew.
Please. You're muted.
Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Oh my God.
What's wrong, girls?
Nothing at all. No, you've never looked better. You have never looked better.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Lockdown's really got to you, hasn't it, Barty?
I knew
because
you
I'm
haven't.
having a bad hair day.
Well, darling, you obviously haven't been able to get to the hairdressers for the whole of lockdown. That's clear.
Oh, but the good news is 7 weeks to go and I reopen, girls.
We will all be there.
Oh, listen, my
was a
darling, I
big
have to
hair
be.
day.
I have to be frank. When the suggestion of a photo of bad hair days,
Yes.
who do you think we are that we would ever have a picture of any bad hair days? You are kidding. We would have burnt them. So it doesn't exist. But I have one that is a flashback hair day, if I may, from 23 to 63.
Okay.
She's on the screen, dear. She's on the screen.
That's not a bad hair day.
Oh.
No, it's a 23 to 63.
I thought you meant 1923 to 1960.
I think. Oh.
When you were born, darling.
Darling, yeah, I get the joke. Thank you. I think Sherry is on one of her charm offences again. Thank you so much, Sherry. I don't just have bad hair days. I only do big hair days.
Big
and
hair.
I just wanted to be. There you go.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes.
When you come to the salon, don't ask me to turn you into a platinum blonde like that.
No.
No, darling, I won't. She's actually white. But show us, please. Will you show us, darling, your big hair?
So this was my first ever hairdressing show.
Oh, handsome boy.
Look at it.
Oh my God.
So pretty.
Yeah. Were you 12, darling? You look so young.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, how lovely.
Thick, luscious Mediterranean hair.
Oh, darling.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Another one.
Really?
Yes, 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 yes.
This was when I was rocking my inner Michael Hutchins.
Oh, you are.
And do you know what's
Absolutely
so
divine.
sad about it? I toured with In Excess for a while and I looked after Michael Hutchins's hair.
No, you didn't.
Did you?
I did. And what's so sad about it, I was kind of morphing myself into him. I so wanted to be him.
No, oh, for God's sake, thank God you got out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Now, Andrew, what happens to me, what I'm going to talk about is that I did a thing called The Body in the Library and Miss Marple. And we've hopefully got a nice picture to show you here. But my hair was the worst wig you've ever seen. It was 1920s. And what was so awful is that they had to soap my hair to put this wig on. Had to soap it. Why would they have to do that?
To soap it?
Yeah.
Well,
to make it flat.
Yeah, it just secures the hair down.
Oh, no, yeah.
Base for the wig. Otherwise, the wig's too big and it moves.
Yeah.
It was, and apparently the wig was you'll see, the wig was the wrong way around. So I played this character, and can you imagine 7 weeks wearing this wig with the itchy hair? So to me, that was the worst thing I have ever, because underneath it was 1984, and my hair was like that.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, big hair.
Big hair.
Absolutely. Do you know what I love about this, girls, as well, is that every woman on the planet has a story to tell about her hair, because it's part of her identity, part of her personality, and also part of her history as well.
Absolutely. Do you know you sent me a picture of when you were a little boy with that lovely haircut, darling? It was the fringe was slightly crooked.
Yeah.
And I've got one of when I was 8 doing my first telly in a cheese commercial, and actually it's going to come up on the screen, but the fringe, I don't know who the blinking hairdresser was, but the fringe went from there up to there. It's completely crooked.
That could be termed as asymmetric trending.
Yes, I think that is metric.
I don't know if that was the trend then, which we won't say when it was, shall we? And the other one, darling, is this one. Can you see that? That's
That's
with my daughter when she was about a year old. And
Wow.
I hadn't been to the hairdressers for about a year because I could never get there because she would cry if I left her. And so she had no hair and I had very bad uncut and uncoloured hair.
Do you know what? I quite liked it. I thought to kind of built up in a ponytail like that. I've got to say though, we cannot leave Lady Sherry out of this because I'm sure she's got an encyclopedia of and hair disasters that she's done herself.
I know, as you well know, there is nobody in the world that's had hair like I've had. I have been every colour. I think the only colour I haven't been is possibly blue. But I have been every colour. I've lost my hair several times. And the worst time I remember was I was going to do a play and I got very big, dark, luscious hair. I had beautiful hair. So I decided that I would colour it myself, of course. So I put this colour on and then I thought, oh, it's a bit straight. I think I'll perm it.
With the colour on?
With the colour on.
Sherry, did it break?
Coloured it. And I literally went like this with my hair on the floor. And what's more, it turned green.
Oh, wow.
And I had to go to my first day rehearsals without this beautiful, luscious dark hair with this spiky green hair, which of course I haven't got a photo of. He nearly lost the job, but they said, "Oh, we'll find you a wig for."
When I did There's a Girl in My Suit many years ago in West End, I did it with John Stride, and they decided that it wasn't going to be the cookie like Goldie Hawn version. They wanted to make it her into a punk. So they actually, my beautiful long blonde hair, they cut, and I had it in 7 different colours, and I had it shaved at the side here, and I had it like a Mohican, and it was absolutely amazing. But two things. First of all, I was married to John Challis at the time, and he wouldn't walk down the street with me, as you can imagine.
No,
because I was a punk. I looked ridiculous. We looked ridiculous. He looked like my father. But the other thing was that I went into Woolworths to get something and I was stopped for shoplifting immediately. And I thought, how interesting is that? Because just by the way I looked, I was immediately thought that, that I was a threat. I'll try and dig one of these out. It's because I've just moved. I don't have these pictures. But
I've got a very quick story. I was doing a movie and they put in hair extensions. And when the end of the filming came and they cut them out, they just cut them the length of the hair where they were joined. So I suddenly had this hair like this.
Oh, no. Well,
I know. So I had bald
How
patches.
shocking.
Harriet, you did have when I first started cutting your hair as well. Touche.
thank you, my darling. Well, what great. We need longer. We need 5 hours to talk about it.
Listen, just one quick thing before we go. I know that everybody's suffering at home with the worst hair disasters ever. Roots. Only 7 weeks to wait for Salons to hold.
Yes.
Now.
In a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to talk about temporary touch-up pens, pencils, to just help you get through the next 7 weeks.
We'll be there.
Thank you.
Darling.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
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 Oh, wow.
Joy. That was
funny.
hysterical. Hearing
is-
everyone's stories is so fun.
So, Sherry, who is flying into the nest today?
Well, it's one of our favourite people in the whole world, and actually one of the most talented men we have in this country. And he can listen. His impressions are just amazing. He's an actor. He does everything. It's the wonderful Jon Culshaw.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello, is this it? Are we doing it proper now this afternoon?
Yeah, we're doing
are,
it
dear.
proper
This is
live.
it. All right, okay.
So listen, Jon.
Yes.
Tell us all about this play you've been doing, which is online with my darling Matthew Kelly.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. We
Oh,
all.
isn't he?
He's wonderful. in this, there's a sense of Ian McKellen about him. There really is.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, he brings this wonderful gravitas, but with this fabulous lovability mixed in. It's absolute magic. Yes, it's called Barnes's People, written by the playwright Peter Barnes, and they were first broadcast these about 40 years ago. These quick monologues, and they're quite acerbic and they are fascinating things, and they chime just now. My particular one is called Billy and Me, where I play a ventriloquist called Michael Jennings.
Oh.
And he's rather, he's, sort of an old school professional performer, a seasoned act with a lot of experience. And he's had his demons and his issues in the past, which he's got help for. And now it's the spontaneous voices that he gives to the ventriloquist puppets that sort of become his own counselling. They are a therapy that he gives to himself through his own spontaneous sense of humour.
I find ventriloquists fascinating, don't you, John? That it's a kind of a surreal world that they live in. It's a fascinating world.
It is, and how they so quickly make you suspend your disbelief, and those puppets come to life. They really do.
Totally.
If we look at Nina Conti now and Paul Zerdin.
John, did you do it? Did you do that? Did you actually? Obviously, you did the voices, but was that trickery on the screen, or did you actually do it?
At times, there's a few like that. At times.
Oh my God!
You look like you're sort of like waking up from dental anaesthesia. A lot of the time it was, I did the voices before. It's a lot of the time it was sort of played as if they were thoughts, as if it was just talking, and the dummies are thoughts in his mind, and it flows together that way.
There was a horror film.
Did you do this? How
they
did you
came to
actually
life?
film it, John?
Yes, it was filmed in the at the Windsor Theatre Royal, and I know what you mean, Dee, about that horror film sense of a ventriloquist puppet when they're there, just static.
Yeah, dead of night.
The little puppet that I was working with was plonked on a chair in my dressing room. It was the first thing that I saw when I walked into the theatre. For all the world, I thought this little character was going to go.
Ooh, no, it's really scary, really scary. Was it on Zoom then?
It's available online if people go to originaltheatre.com and you sort of buy a ticket, and then you can stream it. You can stream all the performances.
Oh, wow.
And once you've got it, you've got it. It's a bit like buying a DVD, something like that. But it's great that this is a way that theatres can answer back. It's a way that they can work round their present restrictions. Theatres.
But after lockdown, John, what would you do with it? Would you put it out there, or?
Well, they certainly would lend themselves to real performances on stage. Once the audiences are back, they would sure lend themselves to that. Yes, you could imagine that wonderfully. Yeah,
very exciting. Very
darling,
exciting.
can I ask you, darling? I want to know, what are all the new voices that you've got in your filing cabinet from all the new crazes that have come into our life?
Yes, my goodness. There's so much. I love watching The Repair Shop.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I binge watched The Repair Shop.
I love it.
And I love Jay Blades. I think he's so cool. And he runs the shop. No, he's a former Easter governor. And he comes in, okay, what you got here? Okay, now, so I'm wiping this in now. Okay, so what do you want us to do with it? Okay, Dom, you got your work cut out. Okay, nice one. Likewise.
Brilliant.
He's got that lovely avuncular way about it. So I love Jay Blades. He's great.
Any political figures, darling?
I suppose there's Chris Mason from Any Questions on Radio 4.
Oh, yes.
He's sort of got a sound out. It's just ridiculous. They say the same old thing. It's hardly worth asking them anything, really. Dear, oh dear. He's a hybrid of, you have Professor Brian Cox on one side and Alan Bennett on the other, and mix them sort of together and you get Chris Mason, really.
And what about the new political figures?
Matt Hancock seems very fixed, bringing to mind the... No, don't interrupt. I know you haven't interrupted, but don't interrupt. Otherwise I'll get very cross and I might cry. He's quite interesting. Michael Gove. I've noticed that Michael Gove, in political interviews, Andrew Marr might be asking him the question over here, and Govey will answer, just on the borderline of Vicky Pollard, that kind of thing, calling him Andrew. So and this kind of, and furthermore, and this is what he's got that sort of Vulcan hand gesture.
Yeah.
But they do keep moving on. There's new characters coming in all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Any favourites, darlings?
Oh, goodness gracious. I think Joe Biden is pretty cool. Joe Biden he's sort of like, I was chatting with my pal Chris Moyles not long ago, and Chris pointed out that Joe Biden, he's a little bit like somebody from the Wild West, one of the good guys from the Wild West. I feel real good about where we are. And I have to say, I had a great time talking to the man doing a fine job running the United Kingdom. Sure was fine talking to Marcus Rashford. Hell of a guy.
You've even got his facial expression. That was brilliant.
It's very calm. It's very, the hand gesture's here. He sort of reminds me a bit of George Bush Sr. He had this kind of pace and was very steady. Then George W. kind of mixed it up a little, had more of a chuckle in it. But Joe Biden is a little more like George Bush Sr., very measured. I feel real good about where we are. Let's get out and win this thing. So he's pretty good.
Brilliant.
You've been doing quite a lot of Doctor Who's. Are you allowed to tell us which characters you've been playing in the audiobooks?
Oh yes, for Big Finish Productions. A few weeks ago, I did a story called. It was actually 50 years since the Master, that character, first appeared back in 1971. So I was doing an audio book called Terror of the Master, when I was playing John Pertwee's Doctor, with that wonderful sharp resonance and that great warmth. I have reversed the polarity of the neutron flow. That's fine. And also the Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. Yeah, so I'm a military man, but very warm. Doctor, what shall we do? Tom Baker, of course. Now and again, I sometimes work with the real Tom Baker on the Big Finish stories. I mean, Tom is so funny. What a raconteur. Oh, boys. If he comes on here, he might take some editing.
Oh, darling,
to say the very least. I mean, it's brilliant. It's all of the stuff that you're doing. What's coming next, work-wise, John? What else is coming? You've been doing lots of work in lockdown, obviously. So what's next?
I think, well, yesterday we had the dates come through for the summer series of Deadringers.
Oh,
so we're hoping this will be June and July. We're recording this.
Oh, brilliant!
So hopefully by then we might be back in our spiritual home of the radio theatre. Perhaps an audience on Zoom, or maybe a distanced audience spread out through the theatre. We'll wait and see. So yeah, it'll be nice to. We wonder what sort of political world and shenanigans will be going on by the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had Lewis and we've had Jan Ravens as well. She was on a couple of weeks ago.
Yes,
so, but you, John, this is the second time you've been on. So you're our favourite.
Oh, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. You've made me become Kenneth, such as my jubilation.
Oh God! Oh, John, darling, I have to say, I would like to set you a challenge to make sure you come back again.
Yes.
What about doing some impressions of the WonderBirds? How do you feel about that?
Well, I could never be so graceful. I could never be so. I'll tell you what I'd love to see. I'd love to see some of my friends and colleagues do a wonderful WonderBirds sketch. Deborah Stevenson, Jan Ravens, Christina Bianco, Jess Robinson, all together. Your show would be a wonderful theme for them to take on. Yeah. And I think they should, maybe as part of your show.
Yeah,
actually, John, that is a brilliant idea. And I'd like you to direct that episode for us.
Okay.
No pressure, darling. No pressure at all.
Here, I don't know why for a director voice I'm talking like the Don. I don't know why. Now, maybe somebody a bit like, I don't even know who this is, but it's directorial. That was great.
It
You got
is.
it. I'm going to
It
print
sure
that.
is.
Show.
Thank you.
That's
Oh,
a
Jon, thank
fantastic
you
idea.
so much. I'm looking forward to
I
that.
can't wait.
Oh, it'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful fizzing and knockabout and
Oh yeah,
like
It
that.
will.
can you imagine? And all those
It
big
will.
tits, you know, Harriet's got big tits, Debbie's got big tits. I mean, seriously.
Sorry, darling.
We've got little
this
tits.
whining. We've got a whining sound again. I'm sorry. It's just the problem we have all the time.
I didn't know such language was permissible.
Yes,
darling.
In the afternoon.
of course.
It's tits a go-go on this show. Let me just tell you that. And sometimes
Oh my
we even
goodness.
talk about our little pricks that we have in our
We
arms.
do.
So there we go.
Yes.
Well, have you
Anyway,
had
we'll
that?
get
You're
abreast
too
of
young,
the
aren't you?
situation.
You're too young,
You're too
Jon.
young to have had a little prick, aren't you, Jon?
Yes, not quite. I haven't got mine yet.
No, you're too young, darling.
Yes, darling.
Yes, it's lovely. You know, I'm 52. I consider myself quite grown up, but it's lovely to be too young for something.
Yeah,
That's
you're
quite a
too
novelty.
young. Yes.
Yes.
I know. I was so grateful they started in the 90s and the 80s, and now sadly it's the 35-year-olds like us. But you know, there we go.
The shadows.
Oh, Jon, darling, thank you so much
Oh,
for coming
God.
in to see us, and we will see you again soon with the WonderBirds.
Yeah, I can't
special.
wait.
Oh, yes, exactly. We need to make that happen. We need to do
We
it.
will.
Thank you for
We
always
will.
supporting us, Jon. Thank you.
Oh,
for
it's a
supporting
pleasure.
us. Thank
Thank
my
you for
darling.
supporting me. It's lovely to come and join you. I've got some special effects. See,
Oh,
special effects with the tea light holder.
And what's that, darling? Some gin?
It should be. No, it's just a little
Yes.
tea light holder. But it
Sorry,
takes
dear,
us
I
into
thought
an
it was gin.
ethereal
Oh,
world. When
Oh,
put
it
on the camera.
is.
It takes us into Doctor Who, doesn't it? Really? Or out.
Yeah.
It's sort of
Yes,
like
exactly,
do, do,
exactly.
do, do. But I used to have a dog that when he used to hear that theme tune, he used to go like that.
Yeah, I
Very
suppose
weird.
it would. That's those sort of high-pitched parts of the. I'm trying to remember the theremin instrument. Yes, I think that sort of echoes when human beings were, you know, in prehistoric times. One lookout would sort of screech if a predator was on the way, which gives us this inbuilt sense of alarm. And I think that's why the Doctor Who theme is psychologically a bit fearful. That's why we don't like fingernails down a blackboard, because it echoes the calling out of when we were prehistoric creatures.
Oh,
That sense of
Those
alarm.
feelings,
That's where it's
all of those
rooted.
feelings I feel when I come onto the show and I'm waiting for Sherry to join.
Oh, you are naughty.
Ooh.
Love you, darling.
how
Thanks,
fascinating.
darling.
Lots
Bye,
of love.
darling.
Thanks for having me on.
See you
See you
soon.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Anyway, Sherry, darling, you know I didn't mean it because I don't want people, your endless fans, writing in. You know,
Margaret.
love you very much.
Margaret.
Yes. So anyway, dear, of course, you don't sound like nails going down a blackboard, and it isn't like being terrified of dinosaurs approaching when I see you. So just wanted to say.
I'm a bit sad about that. I thought I was that intimidating, and now I know I'm not.
No, dear.
For God's sake.
You're as intimidating as your Chihuahua, Teddy, who is quite intimidating, actually.
Yeah.
He's very intimidating. I had to do with him the other night. I had to have
Oh.
a strong word.
And
Really?
What happened, darling?
Yes,
What
he had
happened?
a little nip.
At
And I said,
you?
you will not live, Teddy, if you ever do that again. So I took him into the room and I said, you go under that bed and you don't come out until tomorrow morning. And he did.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Quite right too.
I
For
said,
5
you
minutes.
do not do things like that, Teddy, ever.
Has
So
he
we
been
had a
better
very
since?
strong-
Has he been better?
Sorry?
Has he behaved since?
Yes, he doesn't come near me because he knows that I'm quite frightening. So
You are. You're
There you
very
go.
scary.
I frighten myself.
Very.
Who is coming in Friday, darlings, please?
what is happening? Ah, I know what's happening on Friday. We've got Bob Barrett is coming in to
Oh,
show us
yes.
his ragu.
Ragu!
He sounds obscene, Debbie. That sounds absolutely obscene.
I was going to
Ragu!
say.
I don't want to see Bob Barrett's ragu. It's too
Yes,
early
I
in the
do.
Second
I
one as
do.
Well, to be luscious.
I know you do, dear. Yeah.
Yes,
And
I do, darling.
Sam Giles is also coming to show us a little bit of mystery and
Mystique.
Mystery
Yes.
magic.
That's
How
right.
fabulous.
Need a bit
That's
of
going to
that
be
now.
wonderful.
I mean, you girls could do with a bit of mystery in your life. Only look in the mirror, girls, and go, I need a bit of mystery.
I do.
Oh yeah.
That's
And
all
can
I'm
I just
saying.
say,
The
I'm
eyes.
sorry, Sherry, it's not that we don't have enough of you, but now we've got a mirror next to you. So we've got double
Yes.
you. It's
Yes,
outrageous.
I'm
It
trying to
is.
show you double me. Yes.
There's a mirror. That's lovely. I like the mirror.
Yes.
Is that new,
I like
Johnny?
a mirror. I don't like a mirror actually anymore, Dee. Don't look in the
Oh,
mirror.
you're gorgeous. Well,
Anyway,
Margaret
Well,
thinks
this is
so.
true. This is
We
true.
digress. We're going. Get off the
Bye.
phone. Get off the Zoom. We're
Go.
leaving.
Oh,
See you
enough now.
Friday.
I'll do some meditation.
Oh,
No.
Ah!